G'day folks, Tony again here for more of the jaunty saunterings of Gaunt Bort the Taunter. So, dear viewer, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. I have been playing this Let's Play little by little from week to week as I've been pecking away at one episode at a time. And as you may be aware, Caves of Qud is updated with stunning regularity every week by the developers. And unfortunately, somewhere along the way, the updates resulted in an incompatible save file with our current run of Gaunt Bort. Now, this has happened once before during this series, and I managed to solve it by rolling back to a previous build on Steam. I tried it again this week, and it just didn't work. So that second version of Gaunt Bort that we have been adventuring along with is gone. Now, the good news is that I've taken it upon myself to start a third, and for this Let's Play series, final run of Gaunt Bort, and I've pretty much gotten them up to where they were before, just having dinged level 10. And you're about to see that in fast forward right now. Hey, welcome back. So here we are with the third Gaunt Bort the Taunter. Some of the things that I did along the way, I've completed the Rustwells quest, and managed to get up a remarkable number of levels, I think all the way to level 7 or possibly level 8, just in one of the Rustwells, because there are a lot of segmented mirthworms, which are worth a fair bit of XP but can kill you quickly if they swarm you. But there are a ton of them, and I managed to bottleneck them in a series of narrow corridors, and they were pretty easy to take out one at a time, so that was good. Then I went to the Rustwells, I grabbed the Gershling corpse, and I decided to make my way back to Joppa via the underground river. That can be a bit of a crapshoot, and I did have a couple of close calls there, most particularly when a boss bear of some description, although it was some kind of super magic wizard bear, cornered me with some force walls, and all of their minions were pouring in on me. But thankfully, there was a set of stairs up nearby, and I heroically fled. Anyway, we're now at level 10 again, so let's have a quick look, because clearly this Gaunt Bort is going to be a little bit different. I've been bumping points into toughness again. We have 25 hit points. In terms of active effects, I have a metabolizing thing there at the moment from a meal that I ate. And for our mutations, we've got all of the usuals all the way down to Evil Twin there that Gaunt Bort had before, but this time around we also have Domination. You garrot an adjacent creature's mind and control its actions while your own body lies dormant. So it's essentially mind control over an adjacent creature. That can be quite handy. And we also have Burgeoning. You cause plants to spontaneously grow in a nearby area, hindering your enemies. So those are all rather handy. We have one mutation point tallied up here now. We're going to save up for another random mutation if indeed we get that far. And let's have a quick look at skills. So I've actually put a couple of points into Cudgel here. You'll see why in a moment. Also got a few into Short Blade. We've got Duke there to go along with Pointed Circle, which is probably the next thing that I'm going to grab. And it would be nice to get to Tinker as well, but our intelligence is going to have to go up a little bit for that to be the case. I think intelligence needs to go up another 2. So I believe there'll be 1 attribute point across all attributes when we get to 12, if we get to 12. And then maybe at 15, I don't know, maybe we'll bump intelligence, maybe we'll keep putting points into toughness. I really don't know. Anyway, the reason why we've got those cudgel skills is I managed to find myself a carbide hammer. In fact, I've got a couple of them. I think there's another one in the inventory. And a carbide dagger as well, which I'll be putting into the left hand as soon as I manage to get a light source. That means I won't need to carry a torch anymore. We also have a desert rifle, which is quite lovely, and a bunch of gear, including some steel gauntlets and some snazzy crocossons. I do have some pretty good stuff here in terms of money. Got a couple of books here that we've managed to find. And also a flaming iron mace. I don't have anything to put in there. A steel longsword, a compound bow. These things are all pretty good for sellability. And then just a bunch of figurines, which I nabbed from right next to a slumberling. Fortunately, that worked out. And a bunch of other things here that have a fair bit of money value. But it's no good having all of that stuff if I can't actually sell it to anyone. And Tam the Dromad Merchant is pretty much out of stuff. So here's some things that we could do. Let's have a look at the world map here. You'll see there's a couple of asterisks nearby. One of them is just a star apple farm, but the other one is Tatum Ghetto, which we may go and investigate soon. The other thing that I'd like to do is get all the way over here to Kakukya or Kayakukaya, depending on your pronunciation, but Kakukya sounds funkier, so I might go with that. It fits with the whole Kud vibe rather than the Cud vibe. All right, so we might try and make our way over to Kakukya and see what we can do over there, because we haven't been there before in this series, and it might be cool to see what happens. Now, I did state out loud, oh, it looks like we're about to get lost here. Indeed, here we go. So we're going to try and find our way back to somewhere. What's that? Horn Chameleon. Back to somewhere where we have our bearings, because otherwise we can't do anything. Oh boy, there's just a bunch of stuff here that's going to want to cause some mischief. Shrewd baboon. Okay, well, none of these things in theory are going to be a problem. But I also did state out loud that this is going to be the final sort of version of Gaunt Bort that we play. And of course, having said that, it will be amusing to see whether we end up completely f***ing this and getting killed in some ridiculous manner. That would very much be in keeping with how roguelikes work. Come on, Zone, build like the wind. Good grief. Hey, we did it. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but I'm glad that it came back. So yes, we could end up dying in some sort of embarrassing fashion, but that's okay. If nothing else, at least we should be able to see something with a little bit more variety here as we make our way to the jungle. I'm bleeding there. I'm not quite sure what's made me bleed, but I'm probably going to wait for it to pass on its own because it's not drastic bleeding. There we go. Can we heal up? We can't yet because there's more baboons around. These pesky baboons and their stone throwing. Get rid of this shrewd baboon. Nice and quick. Good to go. And there's a hulking baboon around here somewhere too. Heaven knows where it is. Clearly out of sight at this point. All right, let's continue. So I'm using the W key. Ooh. Interesting. We have discovered some ore. I'm not quite sure what this is, but I can tell you that there's a turret or two over here. A rifle. Oh no, a rifle turret. Oh, not good. Rifle turrets can shoot an awfully long way. In fact, they can probably shoot us where we are now. So we are going to skedaddle. We're going to head back up this way. So yes, I'm using the W key and then an arrow direction to do kind of an automatic walk, and it will stop you when something hostile is spotted. So let's try heading west instead. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. There's an evil Gaunt Bort here somewhere. Let's also flee from there and try moving in another direction. Uh-oh, there's evil Gaunt Bort is chasing us. This could be terrible, folks. All of our beautiful work could be undone. They're sprinting. They really, really want to get us. Evil Gaunt Bort the Taunter. It's evil you. Okay, this could be bad, super, super bad. We're going to boost our toughness so that we have more hit points. We're also immediately going to try Asunder Mind on ourself. We fail to penetrate Evil Gaunt Bort the Taunter's mental defenses. Now, he's got a force wall popped up there and is presumably shooting at us with a desert rifle. What have we got available here? We could pop our force bubble. We could also pop some burgeoning. Let's see actually if we can we do that from this range? We can't actually see there. All right, ow. I could do without this, I really could. Let's try that burgeoning and see if we can pop something up right on top of them here. So there's going to be a little bit of stuff there, giving them some grief, possibly, or particularly when that force wall disappears. Now, I'm actually trying to wait until that force wall disappears before I pop my force wall. Sorry, my force bubble. Because I would prefer to kind of have the advantage. All right, so now that his force bubble's disappeared, he's now badly wounded. So I'm actually going to pop my force bubble, and now I should be able to shoot. Oops, I've accidentally hit one of my allies there. And they're dead. All right, we did it. I may have just made everything here hostile or not. Is all of this still friendly? Looks like it might be. Hey, we survived. We survived an evil Gaunt Bort. Congratulations, everyone. We're going to have something to eat here because we're hungry, and now we're going to continue trying to unlost ourselves by heading back in this direction. These damn baboons. They're really being quite difficult. All right, I'm going to get that knollworm skull. That might sell for a moderate amount, maybe, perhaps. Those hermits hostile to us or not? They are not. Good to know. What have we got around here? Some wooden arrows. We'll pick them up. Just because you can never have too few arrows, particularly when this build relies fairly heavily on dropping that force bubble and shooting things through it. So even fairly ordinary projectiles can be mighty handy. Whoops! I missed that message, but there's a Dromad caravan here, and provided that they are not hostile to us, and I don't see why they should be, impossible and neutral. Nice. Words fail to contain the paradox of its domesticated immensity. What a lovely description. So merchants, maybe we'll be able to trade with them. We were also heading to Kyakukia to do the same thing. But seeing as we're here, let's do that. I'm going to grab a few of these items because we might be able to use them as part of our sellability, particularly when they're iron things. So just bear with me while I hoover up some of this stuff. Most certainly don't want to anger any of these things, which means that I don't want to I certainly don't want to end up accidentally shooting them. You ask about your location and are no longer lost. Oh, that's handy. How about that? Let's see what this Dromad trader has to sell. A painted rubber suit. What on earth is a rubber suit? Tell me more about this rubber suit. The skin-tight flesh suit is made of elastic rubber. Ah, electrical resistance. And plus 60 reputation with the 4th Etheri Median cult. Good to know. It will also tell us more about Etheri Med the 4th if we ended up... oh, man, just by investigating it in the inventory, we've learned the location of Shersamore. And we have a quest to visit Shersamore. Oh, I would love to know what that weird artifact is with that sort of cost on it. Don't think we're going to be able to afford it. Ooh, nice. Folded carbide dagger and a folded carbide short sword. Oh, those both look tremendous. Lovely, lovely. Grit gate recoiler. That would also be handy to have. Interesting. What else have we got? Okay. Something that'll call us straight to the grit gate would be mighty cool. And we do have these books and so forth here that might be worth a little bit of money. How are we doing for... Okay, there's a ton of lead slugs there. I definitely want to grab those. How much? Yeah, we may as well just grab all those arrows that we can. Let's see what we're going to end up with here if we pop all of these on. So disquisition on the malady of the mimic and on humanoid mimicry of animals or plants. We'll pop both of those into our sell list. We're going to be grabbing some of those things. We probably don't need those anymore. I'm going to keep that flaming iron mace just because... and then we've got all of these things here, which are going to bump stuff up by a fair amount. Let's just pop them all on and see how much it's going to get us. Nearly 500 Kajigiri-doos, so nowhere near enough for whatever that is, but we will be able to get ourselves a grit gate recoiler that already has a battery in it. And I would definitely like to get that folded carbide dagger. Shall we also get that weird artifact? I think it might be worth doing. Let's try popping that on as well. So that's pretty close here. We can probably pop a couple of these here in to even it up to close enough. Sure, why not? Nice. All right. There's probably a few things there that need killing, but I think they're going to get taken care of by those merchants. Ooh, some sandals of the river wives and a steel vine reaper. That might be worth a look. Okay, so what have we got here? Let's see if we can examine this weird artifact. And we can. It is a combat shotgun. I was hoping it would be something like that. Quite nifty. We're definitely not going to disassemble it. That might be handy to use instead of our desert rifle, if and when we're in a close quarters situation. What else have we got here now? That's going to add some move speed to us. At the moment, we've got some crocossins on, and I think I'm going to stick with the armor on the crocossins at the moment. We have 7 armor and 8 dodge value, which is doing kind of nicely. Now, we also have a carbide dagger and a folded carbide dagger. So I can probably sell this carbide dagger when we get to that point. Where is that grit gate recoiler? So each of these has a small trinket in it. And these recoilers allow you to use them and be returned to either the grit gate or to Jopar. So I just want to see if we can remove... Yep. All right. So we're just going to remove the trinket from it because I want to be able to see if I can examine it, find out what it is. All right. So now that we know that it's a chem cell, I'm assuming now we'll see that the other recoiler has a chem cell in it. Yes, indeed. And now I can probably put that cell back in. Good. Now, I can't actually make a chem cell yet, but it is nice to have a couple of them on hand. So many water skins. Okay, we now have a shotgun available to us if and when we need it. Carbide dagger, folded carbide dagger, 1d8 for penetration. That's definitely going to be great to have in that left hand. What we really, really need, and what I'm hoping to find at some point soon, is a floating glow sphere that can go into that floating nearby slot, free up our left hand, so that we can actually we can probably put that in there now. But as soon as it's nighttime, we're not going to be able to see anything. So anyway, we're not lost anymore, so we can zoom back out. Now that we've just given all of our material to that trader, there's probably not a lot of point in going to Kyakukia just yet. So instead, we're going to head over here to this Tatum Ghetto, and we'll try exploring and having a look around here to see what we can find. Alrighty, here we go. Still just ample potential to die horribly here. We have some more Fulcrete surroundings. I'm assuming it's Fulcrete. It is indeed. So potential likelihood maybe of finding some turrets again here. I really dislike chain gun turrets, but if they're just musket turrets, we can probably make do, at least for a little while. Just going to take out this prickler because they can hit pretty hard. Bunch of bedrolls. What is that? Slug Snout, and member of the 4th Ethereum Median cult. So slug snouts can hit fairly hard at range. So I'm going to pop our force bubble here. I'm going to try taking them down. Actually, I might just move a little closer. Oops, that was not what I meant to do. I'm just worried about hitting these other things, but I guess that's just the way it goes. Nicely done. Oh, that's right. These things are all members of the same. These things are all members of the same faction. So we in fact angered it, and they're not happy with us. Oh, here's another. Damn. Do we have a force bubble back yet? We do not. But we can probably try a Sunder Mind, seeing as a slug snout should have a mind. Ow. Good. I'm going to heal up again. What have we got? Force Bubble's got 31 turns until it cools down. Can I make a camp, or is there something nearby that's going to stop us? No, we can. So we're going to whip up a meal and we're no longer hungry, and it's going to give us a little bit of extra hit points. Yay! What? Oh, it must be outside the building. It is. Hello. Can I trade with you? Alas, no. Very well. I'll leave it open so I know I've been in there. All right. Oops, and there it's come to night time. So we'll pop a torch into our left hand, and now we can see again. So another prickler. Only getting 1 experience point for those. It's not exactly a good use of our lead slugs, but with this low hit point pool, they are a concern for hitting us. Looks like that hermit might be fighting somebody back in their room. We'll leave them to it. Might be anything in those tables. And another slug snout. Hi, how you doing? You're really not getting a lot of XP for any of these things, but that's to be expected, I guess, when our level gets up a little higher. Looks like a beaded bracelet or something on the ground there. Just some real piecemeal bits and pieces here. That's fine. We'll get them anyway. Uh-oh. Whoops. Moved just a little bit too quickly there, not expecting there to be something immediately outside. And nearly blundered right into getting our hit points mowed down. Top work. That was just a normal boar. And there's some stairs downwards. I think we might go and explore those stairs downwards momentarily. See what else we've got around here up on this level first. Assuming that's outside again, it is indeed. Ah! I hate these young ivories. I hate them. Wrong thing, Tony, wrong thing. Let's pop a bandage on. Hopefully that will stop the bleeding, and it does. So we can take this thing down and heal ourselves back up. Oh boy, that was a close thing. Young ivories. Just the terror of... speak of the devil. They really are the terror of low hit point characters. Let's do this again then. Whew. Good. So could be assigning hotkeys to a lot of these abilities, and I've ummed and ahed about that a little bit while I've been doing these Let's Plays, but it can be quite difficult to tell what is happening in a Let's Play if somebody's just going crazy ninja on the shortcuts. So even though it does take up a little bit more time, I do prefer just moving through the menus so that you, the viewer, can see what's going on, and it also gives me a little bit of a breather and some time to actually think about what I'm doing and whether what I'm doing is a wise move, comparatively speaking. Let's see what we have up here. More doorways. Crazy long line of sight. Is this fresh water or not? It is not. Take this cave spider out. And this one as well. Just a little dinky room with nothing in it. What about this long, mysterious walkway? This is already a bit of a labyrinth. I'd hate to see what this would look like. Whoa! I'd hate to see what this would look like if we had confusion on us at the moment. All right, a plated knollworm. That's a perfect use of Sundermine to get rid of that one. And there's a young ivory down here. We're going to move down and we're going to take that out. I'm assuming this is going to bring us back outside. It is indeed. I think that knollworm might have had a run-in with those young ivories. They seem to be coming in pairs there at the moment as well. Somebody had a nice little cave home in the wall there. I wonder how that worked out for them. Oof. So many of them. So they seem to be coming in clusters here at the moment. That's interesting to know. Wondering if they're spawning based on some sort of Perlin noise distribution. That would make sense, I guess. Nothing really over that way. A little bit stuck as well. Okay. Let's make our way over to those stairs downwards, because I think this seems like a prime opportunity for some dungeon exploration. One might say that we're going to go into a cave of Could. Do some adventuring, which of course is the reason why we are here. All right. Here we are. Let's head downwards and see what awaits us. Groovy. We have ourselves a boar and some glow pads. So this is what awaits us when we come back for the next part of the Let's Play, because I think that's been plenty long enough. I thank you for your patience. Sorry about the kerfuffle with the previous Gaunt Bort no longer being valid. But we're continuing anyway. The show must go on, as they say. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when other episodes are released. And please tell a friend if you think they might enjoy this kind of thing. And come back again soon for more of the jaunty saunterings of Gaunt Bort the Taunter.